Hey, this is Neil Zahn Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Buy some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. Don't listen to me. Everything I'm saying is to be taken as bull crap, and this is for fun, not health or profit. Now we got all the bull crap out of the way. Let's go to a. Let's see, where are we going here? It's actually going to change. Communications technology and other technologies. This is from have you here? Yeah, okay, you're there. This is from NASA. Give them a thumbs up.
The new result comes at the Vienna University of Technology and research teams in China, who were not trying to confirm that entanglement exists, but how it starts. Entanglement has been treated as something that simply appears when particles interact. This research shows instead that it develops over a very short but measurable period of time. To explore this, the researchers studied what happens when an atom is struck by an extremely intense. When the laser hits the atom, one of its electrons absorbs enough energy to escape. At the same time, the laser disturbs another electron inside the atom, pushing one leaving and one remaining, become quantum entangled during this interaction. What makes this timing is that the escaping electron does not depart at a single, sharply defined instant. Electrons behave as waves. The outgoing electron spreads out and gradually leaks away from the atom, existing in a superposition of possible departure times, rather than one exact moment. Meanwhile, the electron that stays behind ends up in one of several energy states. The researchers found that these energy states are linked to the timing of the other electron's escape. If the remaining electron has higher energy, the escaping electron likely left earlier. If it has lower energy, the electron likely left later. The two electrons are therefore correlated not only in their properties, but also in time. Using high-precision quantum simulations, the team calculated that these differences correspond to about 232 attoseconds, roughly 2/10 of a quintillionth of a second. This is the time window over which the entanglement is created. The researchers also designed
I know I haven't spoke much, but I'm speaking now just to make sure you guys got me on volume.
a way to measure this effect experimentally by combining two laser pulses. One pulse produces the entangled electrons, and a second pulse probes their states. By observing both electrons together, scientists can reconstruct their shared quantum history and determine when the entanglement formed. For the first time, entanglement becomes something that can be timed, not just assumed. This result changes entanglement is understood at a fundamental level. In most descriptions, entanglement is treated as something that appears as soon as two quantum systems interact. Nature left no room for the correlations actually form. This research shows that entanglement develops while quantum waves are still interacting. The electrons are not suddenly linked in a single step. Their wave functions gradually become intertwined as the escaping electron spreads away from the atom. This also clarifies a long-standing misconception. The correlations between entangled particles appear immediately once they are separated, which has sometimes been described as faster than light. In reality, nothing travels between the particles after separation. The connection was created earlier, during the local interaction that produced.
Did you hear that? No time separated the two becoming one. The one to the right had information as it is expanding. It passed that information in this show. It's going to be highly important for long range communication, along with lots of other things.
The entangled pair. In this experiment, that interaction occurred while the two electrons were still inside the atom. The attosecond timing identifies exactly when they're afterward, the electrons may new communication takes place between them. With the no communication principle, which prohibits faster than light signaling. What this work adds is the missing temporal picture of how entanglement comes into existence. The result also connects entanglement to the growing field of ultra-fast quantum dynamics. Over the past attosecond lasers through barriers, shifting orbitals, fields in real time. This study extends that capability to the formation of quantum correlations themselves. Is no longer just a mathematical feature of quantum theory. It is revealed as a physical process embedded in the same ultra-fast electron motion.
Are you tired of paying taxes on
tired
the
of
raw
paying
vacant
taxes
land?
on?
Did you inherit property that's just sitting
Sell it to
idle?
us for 10% of the value. We'll buy it.
Being able to time the creation of entanglement has important consequences for quantum science and technology. Most current quantum engineering focuses on how to preserve entanglement after it exists. This research opens the possibility of controlling how it is created in the first place. In quantum computing, qubits must be entangled in precise ways for logic operations to work reliably. Understanding how entanglement forms could lead to cleaner, more predictable gates and fewer errors by uncontrolled interactions. In quantum communication, entangled particles are used to distribute encryption keys and synchronize remote systems. Knowing exactly how and could improve the timing. The work also suggests that the structure of entanglement may depend on how particles interact, not just on whether they interact. Laser pulse shape, the energy levels could all influence the resulting quantum correlations. The next step is experimental verification. The proposals that already exist, including attosecond lasers and coincidence detection of electrons. Several laboratories are now preparing to test these predictions directly. Beyond atoms, similar techniques could be applied to molecules, solids, and chemical reactions, material properties, and possibly biological processes at the molecular scale. How it forms could reveal new features of complex quantum systems. This work also shows how much structure is hidden in extremely short time.
Interesting poo-poo squat, huh? Well, we're going to jump from there to something else that's really cool. Here, share screen, share screen, share screen. Okay, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go now. This is Fox Business, obviously. We'll give them a thumbs up because, well, you know, what the hell not. This, obviously, nano-nuclear energy. Gosh, I love this company.
Partnership in South Korea, teaming up with industrial giant DS Dansuk to deploy micro-modular nuclear reactors. This morning is at 3222. This move expands nanonuclear's footprint across Asia, opening access to Korea regulatory pipeline. The stock has surged nearly 60% over the last year, and growing interest in next-gen clean energy like nuclear energy. Joining me now is Nano Nuclear Energy founder and executive chairman, Jay Yu. Jay, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for being here. Assess the backdrop for us right now. President Trump has said we want all hands on deck when it comes to energy, all forms of energy, because the demand is surging. How do you see things?
I see tremendous growth. The U.S. wants to quadruple nuclear energy by 2050. So in order to do that, you need next-gen energy. You need civil nuclear reactors that run on LEU. You need SMRs, microreactors running on HALEU. We want all hands on deck, I would say.
What is the nuclear reactor, I guess, operating number? I mean, above 20% is weapons grade, right? So
Yes.
where are you operating?
So our reactor, Kronos MMR, stands for micro modular reactor. We could run an LEU. So we don't have to use that HALEU, which is considered up to 20%. So 10 to HALEU. So we don't have to get to that. We could use traditional LEU plus.
Well, we've been really investigating and probing into this growth story of nuclear recently. AI and data centers is driving this incredible, unprecedented power demand. Companies are spending billions to secure reliable energy. Bank of America research says that nuclear energy is being rediscovered right now as the U.S. is still dominating global nuclear production. Do you agree with that? It's a rediscovery.
Yeah, I think, you know, from inception, nuclear was used for destruction. It was really given to us as a gift. It provides the highest power of dense little pebble, and we could create so much energy. And this is why it's exposed now. The AI data centers need tremendous amount of energy, and nuclear is the solution.
So how can a new wave of demand right now?
You capture that with building the next gen reactors like Nanonuclear is doing, and also providing a vertical integration like with fuel enrichment, with our partnership with LIS Technologies, which is the only U.S. origin and patented technology for laser uranium enrichment, which is the next generation of enrichment as well. So there's so much we could do, transporting of HALEU fuel as well, we're looking to do. So there's so that we're looking to put together under one bucket, I would say.
How is
That's
the
why I
competitive
like them so
landscape?
much.
We've been speaking with various CEOs of other companies, like General Matter was in here the other day.
Sure.
Assess the backdrop for us in terms of the competition.
Oh, we love it. We love competition. New Yorkers, so there's always competition here. What we are looking at too is technology readiness level. So we acquired Nanonuclear, acquired one of the leading microreactor technology readiness level reactors in the world. So it came with patents, 2 demonstration sites. We're partnered with the University of Illinois at Champaign. We just broke ground. So advancing to construction, regulatory aspects, also vertical integration. We have the holy grail of enrichment that's considered
That's about how serious the business world is going to take nanonuclear. He just explained the 5 branches that they're branching. KLL is flying so much higher, but nanonuclear is the Berkshire Hathaway of the nuclear micro and small modular reactor future.
Generation 3, which is laser enrichment.
We spoke with Scott Nolan from General Matter this week. Here's what he said. Watch.
Today, nuclear power is about 100 gigawatts. There's a commitment by this administration to quadruple that by 2050, put us on that path. The last administration wanted to triple. So this is a completely bipartisan issue. We need to increase energy production. Yeah. Everybody knows that nuclear is going to be a huge part of that. It's 20% today. So what we're trying to do in Kentucky, where our facility is bring that online as quick as a portion of U.S. demand on LEU and all of U.S. demand on HALEU. And this award that you referred to at the very beginning of this segment, the $900 million milestone-based program is about online and delivering that as fast as possible. And that award helps us get to that full capacity years ahead of schedule.
What's your timing on scaling up?
Yeah, same timing as the rest of, I would say, the sector, which is 2030 in or around when most of these reactors are coming online. Also, all this enrichment and fuel and capabilities of the U.S. will be coming online too. So we'll all be in the kind of the same boat, and we want everyone to win. There's enough, I would say, business for everyone. So 20, like you heard Scott say, that's what I said. We're trying to quadruple, but for enrichment, that's 10x plus. Yeah. So there's so much here. It's all hands on deck. We don't see it as
10x plus. Their stocks by 2030, 100 to 300 going to be worth.
Competition. We see it as a group of people just getting together to build something great.
And is it largely a result of this data center build out? I mean, there's been, Jensen Huang told us there's going to be trillions of dollars spent on data center build outs every year.
Yeah, I believe the data center
builds up trillions of dollars every year, and people are saying there's not up by themselves.
and AI has expedited all of this, but inevitable, we will need nuclear because that is the only way to reach net zero goals. Or you have all these countries around the world actually saying, we want to reach net zero by 2030, by 2040, without nuclear.
Compare nuclear to the other uses in terms
Nuclear, baseload energy, you don't need the sun to shine, you don't need the wind to blow. So you have a consistent baseload energy that could provide for off key too, because many of these island communities or northern territories in Canada, they rely heavily on diesel, and all these governments are looking to decarbonize that.
And in terms of what's powering it, I mean, look, we're talking about utility rates rising because of this data center build out as well. So where's the power coming?
The power right now is just coming from traditional means, but you have to layer in that baseload energy for the future because you're taking that from the grid and you need to actually put it back or keep it off grid, which nanonuclear can do with our microreactors.
So tell us about the year ahead and the coming 3 years in terms of the company's growth story.
Yeah, so this year we're focusing on a lot of commercial agreements.
So basically the 9 nuclear reactors, small modular reactors that the Army are building, this gentleman just said, then those 9 nuclear reactors I did a report on about a week or so ago, they're in the southeast, and so that means there's going to be 9 Army military taken off the grid before 2030, which is going to lower the amount of power needed from the grid, but the grid's not going to be producing less power, it's going to be producing more power, which is going to drive down energy prices.
That's why we're signing with South Korea. We're looking at a powerful industrial partner out there to give us a gateway to Asia. We're talking to the Middle East, South America. There's so much demand for our technology right now. And because it's a high technology readiness level, we're looking to expand across the world.
Does that mean you'll workers as well?
Yeah, so in Illinois, the state gave us a grant for almost $7 million to hire high-paying elite. And we're going to continue to grow our technical workforce in Oak Brook, Illinois.
He just explained to you how the the government of Illinois has given him $7 million to create 100 jobs. So in other words, the taxpayer in Illinois is paying for this company to create 100 jobs in their state.
What kind of skill sets do you need for these jobs?
Mechanical engineer, industrial, traditional welding, everything. All these high-paying jobs we want to create in the U.S. and in the state of Illinois.
The only skilled labor job he mentioned was welding. The rest of them were college.
Really fascinating. Jay, we'll be watching the growth story. Great to have you this morning.
Thank you so much, Maria.
All right, that's enough about that poopy, scroopy, doopy, stuffy. Now we're going to talk about what Neil talked about, about 9 months or so ago, when I said America's got all the resources we could ever need because we were going to end a war in Congo, and we were going to be given access or rights, first access rights. In other words, we were the first ones to be able to put a bid in to take control and mine their resources, and they get the percentage and whatnot because of all the stuff going on now. That story. That's all, folks.
That controversial Minerals for Security partnership between the United States and the Democratic Republic of Congo that was signed quietly but dramatically in December 2025 is no longer theory, no longer paperwork, no longer diplomatic poetry. It is officially in motion. Kinshasa is preparing to hand Washington a catalog of its most prized mining development by America. And just like Africa's most consequential deals in decades has entered its most explosive phase. Across the continent, the questions are flying. Is this a masterstroke by Congo to finally turn its suffering into leverage? Or is history repeating itself under a new global?
Now, let's go there. For investing, I was looking at kicked out every American, and you're not allowed. That was wrong on that part of Africa. But looking at the Democratic Republic of Congo, if we have the rights to mine all the country, I'm thinking there's a lot of good opportunity in the central part of Africa.
Flag. What makes this moment so charged is that this is not just a vague promise of cooperation. The DRC is actively compiling a list of priority mineral and gold assets to submit to a newly created US-DRC Joint Steering Committee, turning last December's strategic partnership into something very real, very tangible, and very political. According to Congolese officials speaking at global mining forums, this list of strategic projects is expected to land on American desks imminently. And once it does, U.S. companies will effectively get first dibs on some of the most valuable underground wealth on Earth. In African capitals and on social media timelines alike, people are asking.
So now the great question I'm going to ask again and again. Oh, by the way, this is the New African channel. Go ahead and give them a like, share, and subscribe. The question I'm going to ask is, and I've asked this for years, and I've said this since I started my channel, China is a paper dragon. Oh, they have all the minerals, people say. No, America now has them. Isn't that odd? I knew this was going to happen about a year ago, 9 months ago. I knew this was going to happen, but no one else seemed to want to pay attention to it. But for the 2 or 3 people that watch this show.
Why now? Why America? And at what cost? Behind the scenes, the mechanics of the deal are as fascinating as they are controversial. Under the agreement, Congo is required to submit an initial inventory of critical mineral assets, gold projects, and even unlicensed exploration areas within 30 days of the deal being signed.
Unlicensed, what was that he said? Unlicensed exploration areas. More to come. We're not stupid as a nation. I mean, most of our citizens are stupid, but there's a lot of us that aren't stupid in here. A lot of them, luckily, are in the right positions in government as of right now. And this right here, the unlicensed exploration areas, there is going to be so many minerals found in that area. And America's got the first rights to all of them. God bless America and our ability to see the future, those people that are running America, not the people that are in front of the TV. And man, we're set for a good 50 plus years with minerals, all kinds, all of them, every one of them. We're good. Oh yeah, and there's going to be platinum being pulled out of the ground in Canada, January 2028. So we no longer need South Africa or Russia for platinum at that point in time.
Deal being signed. These assets will be placed into what is called a strategic asset reserve, a living, breathing register that can be updated at any time. Both Washington and Kinshasa can propose new projects for inclusion, but a joint steering committee will ultimately manage and maintain the list.
That guy right there.
The idea, at least on paper, is
that other guy, I believe he's the president of Rwanda. That gentleman right there with the big glasses on, I believe he's the president of Rwanda. I'm not 100% sure on that.
The idea, at least on paper, is flexibility and speed. Projects in this reserve can move from exploration to extraction with fewer bureaucratic hurdles, no surprise fees, and no extra obligations beyond existing Congolese law. For American investors, this is music to the ears. For ordinary Africans, it raises a different tune entirely. Whose interests will this system truly serve? There is no denying that American companies stand to gain enormously. The deal offers them preferential access, a right of first offer on projects deemed strategic, and incentives ranging from regulatory streamlining to fiscal stability guarantees. In a mining world where uncertainty is often the biggest enemy of capital, Congo is effectively rolling out a red carpet. Already, names like Cobalt Metals, backed by some of the most powerful tech billionaires on the planet, have surfaced as early movers, especially around lithium prospects such as the massive Monono project. One can almost hear Wall Street salivating. But again, the question lingers. What is Congo getting in return that it couldn't secure before? To understand that, one must confront Congo's brutal security reality. This deal exists because Eastern DRC remains trapped in a cycle of violence that has refused to die. Armed groups, most notably the Rwanda-backed M23 rebels, have overrun territory, seized key cities like Goma, displaced millions, and financed their operations through illicit mineral trade. The Congolese state has struggled to assert control, its military stretched thin, its institutions undermined by corruption, and its previous peace deals collapsing under regional geopolitics. For President Felix Tshisekedi's government, the partnership with the U.S. is not just about money. It is about survival. American security assistance, military training, equipment, intelligence cooperation, and diplomatic pressure on Rwanda are seen as tools that could finally tilt the balance. From Kinshasa's perspective, the logic is cold but clear. If Congo's minerals have long been the fuel of its suffering, why not weaponize them diplomatically to buy peace, stability, and state control? The deal explicitly links mineral access to regional security, infrastructure protection, and efforts to cut off the illicit trade that bankrolls armed groups. Projects like the Lobito Corridor, designed to move minerals through safer routes to the...
I actually did a video on this about 1.5 years ago, how they're trying to get rail infrastructure throughout. Might have been 2.5 years ago, where I said they were trying to get a rail infrastructure set throughout Africa to distribute goods and services, because they don't even have that. And that's what they need to become, step up on the civilization scale, because they don't have an interstate or any of that. It's quite impossible, actually. But anyhow, they got rail.
The Atlantic are framed as both economic and security interventions. Some Congolese officials have even likened the partnership to a modern-day Marshall Plan, a chance to rebuild conflict-ravaged regions through investment rather than endless war. But is that optimism justified or dangerously naive?
Anyhow, enough about that. I don't want to talk about that anymore. We'll go ahead and give you guys something you want to see. Looky there, 83.58. Hot diggity dag nab. And there we go, 93.58. And on that, we'll go ahead and cut this out. And I'm in the stream. You guys have a nice weekend and a good week in front of you. God bless America, everyone here. Peace out.